the chosen one. This message did not find you by chance. God sent you here on purpose. Something significant is happening in your life right now, and your spirit is feeling the stress. Not because you're failing, but because you've outgrown your existing environment. You're outgrowing the space that formerly held you. You are being prepped for more, and heaven is now moving you to a country that suits your spirit. This is not merely a physical movement. It is a spiritual relocation. It is a divine alignment of who you have become and where you are supposed to be. God isn't just taking you to a better location. He's guiding you to a location that mirrors the anointing, knowledge, fire, and destiny inside you. Let's break this down into 7 prophetic chapters so you can completely comprehend what's going on and why you're feeling compelled to change. Before we delve in, please like, share, and subscribe because this message is more than simply material. It is a heavenly alignment. It confirms that God is moving you, shifting you into the land that was designed to meet your mantle, maturity, and purpose. If this transformation speaks to your spirit, type in the comments right now. That is not a random number. It's a prophetic indication that you're ready to depart. What no longer fits. Prepare to go into what your spirit has already outgrown. Prepare to get the land that acknowledges your oil. Not everyone will read this entire message since not everyone is genuinely moved this season. If you stick around, you'll start to view things differently. You will acquire clarity, get heavenly guidance, and have the courage to claim what is already yours. This is not a video that you just watch. It's a spiritual statement that reveals layer after layer. Rewatch it as your soul directs. Because each time you do, you will catch something deeper, heavier, and ideally timed for where God is leading you. Let's dig in. Chapter 1. Your old land cannot hold your new spirit. The chosen one. Allow this truth to settle deeply in your spirit. What are you experiencing right now? The uneasiness of disconnection. The feeling of unease is not the same as failure. It is not confusion. It confirms that you have outgrown your current situation. This is the conflict between your past self and your future self. You're standing in a room that used to seem like home, but now it feels tiny, shallow, and odd. Why? Your spirit has enlarged. Because the you that God has been secretly shaping is no longer compatible with the setting in which you formerly thrived. There was a time when your surroundings matched your abilities. It matched your voice, vision, and degree of trust. But that season is done. You have developed. You've undergone a refinement process that has cost you relationships, comfort, and even your feeling of control. You have fasted in silence. You've sobbed in solitude. You obeyed without a claim. And what once helped you is now suffocating you. That tightness you're feeling isn't revolt. It's a revelation. God is showing you that this existing land is no longer your home. It was a location of growth, but it cannot be the site of your deployment. Sometimes God allows the earth to dry out, not because you are forced, but because He is calling you out of the routine, out of the throng, and out of the comfort zone. Because being in a familiar area prevents you from stretching into a new dimension. Discomfort is heaven's way of telling you you've graduated. You can't stay in Egypt once your spirit has seen Canaan. You can't keep repeating desert habits when God is asking you to rule. And you cannot live in a little tent. When your role was created to construct kingdom infrastructure, the area you're attempting to stay in emotionally, spiritually, and even physically isn't rejecting you. It's releasing you because your anointing has surpassed the confines. And if you attempt to remain, you'll begin to narrow your view in order to be comfortable. But it is no longer who you are. You were created for more, not more celebrity or clout, but greater influence, authority, and legacy. God is calling you out of the comfortable. This is not to punish you, but to position you. He is inviting you out of shallow seas to plunge into the depths of your destiny. He's calling you out of the ordinary so you might soar to anointing. He is calling you away from survival and toward strategic ruling. So don't reject the discomfort. Do not try to return to where you felt protected. Don't lament what God is eliminating. He is preparing place for where He wants to take you. Your old land cannot contain your new spirit. It no longer recognizes your fire. It does not provide the nutrients your next level demands. It is not a curse. This is confirmation. And now it's time to move. Not only physically, but psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. The woods taught you to survive. The ancient land tried your trust. But the new land is where you'll thrive and build. It's where your spirit may breathe freely. This is where your legacy begins. Let go of the tent. Your temple is waiting. Chapter 2. The move isn't about the place. It is about alignment, chosen one. Pay close attention. This shift is more than just a change in scenery. It is more than just a new city, a new home, or a new opportunity. It is not about geography. It is about divine geometry. The synchronization of your spirit, gifts, and assignment with God's intended surroundings for your next season. This is a spiritual repositioning or heavenly recalibration. Heaven is moving you, not because your surroundings are wicked, but because they can no longer contain what is within you. You have borne huge revelations that others would have fallen beneath. You bore in quiet. You've gotten downloads from God that couldn't even be communicated because the room you were in lacked the necessary spiritual vocabulary to understand them. You've moved with silent obedience, trusted without praise, and borne shame without revenge. However, the season is coming to an end. God is now matching you with settings that are appropriate for your development level. People who can identify your goal, as well as environments that will not only tolerate, but even draw on your anointing. This following step is not for convenience. It's about congruence, where your development and grace finally flow in harmony, where your spirit isn't fighting the atmosphere simply to breathe, where your vision isn't diminished, where you don't have to defend your mantle, and where your oil isn't squandered. It will be acknowledged, accepted, and multiplied. You've been attempting to push things open in a place that lacks the spiritual foundation to support you. But now God says, I am taking you to a place where you will not have to force what I have already favored. The place He is transporting you to will respond to your anointing. Things that were once difficult will become easier, not because it is simpler, but because it is in harmony. Favor flows that are aligned. You will no longer need to explain yourself to be seen. You won't have to tone down your truth to stay welcomed. You'll no longer have to decide between devotion and destiny. The land He is bringing you to is designed for your presence. You were created for a specific reason. You're not just relocating into a different location. You are being planted. Planted in areas where your roots may grow deep, where your fruit can grow uninterrupted. Planted where your legacy can last generations. This is about spiritual sustainability, not fleeting joy. God isn't raising you for publicity. He's moving you for impact. The environment matters. So He's putting you in an environment where your faith will thrive. Your thoughts will be clear. Your spirit will stay charged, and your missions will be activated. This is not about fleeing from anything. It's about confronting whatever God has planned. It's about divine convergence, when your inner and outside worlds eventually reflect the same reality. You were picked, and now you are in agreement. So prepare yourself. This following step will not be based on reasoning. It will depend on judgment. Others may not understand it, but it will make perfect sense to heaven. You are not merely being moved. You are being relocated. And when God moves you like this, it's never just about location. It is always about purpose. Chapter 3. The ground has been prepared to receive your spiritual DNA, chosen one. Long before you even prayed for it, God prepared the earth before you were conceived in your mother's womb. He didn't just create you. He created the zone that would eventually fit exactly with the anointing He implanted into you. This is hardly a sudden shift. This season is not an accident. It's a prophesied fulfillment. Just when Canaan was ready for Israel vineyards, they did not plant wells. They did not excavate or build dwellings. God has already gone before you. Heaven has gone before of you to create a space that is both affluent and purposeful. You are not entering a location only to survive. You are entering an environment in which you will thrive. Lead and create this land. It is already flowing with resources that acknowledge your duty, flowing with heavenly connections that respect your task, flowing with strategic options that do not need compromise. This is no coincidence. It's a heavenly setup tailored to your own spiritual DNA. Everything in this new place, including its environment, people, and time, is designed to respond to your obedience. You will not have to force anything to happen here. You will not have to shrink to be welcomed. You won't have to justify your passion or weaken your religion, since this region does not oppose your spirit. It connects with it. This explains why prior seasons seemed so tight. Why were you misunderstood? Why didn't the doors open despite your best efforts? Because you weren't intended to dwell in locations that couldn't support the weight of your belongings. You walked through that uncertainty, that irritation in situations that did not appear to respond to your vision. The continual sensation of being too much or not enough. It was not your fault. It was merely an indication that you hadn't reached your destination yet. Other locations couldn't accommodate you since they were not designed for you. They were not designed to manage your capability. They were not designed to trigger your gifts. They were not designed to unlock your inheritance. But this new place already has your spiritual mark imprinted on its soil. This terrain was not prepared for a multitude. It was waiting for you. You are not heading into chaos. You are entering the preparation stage. You are not stumbling onto a blessing. You are going into what heaven planned before time started. This land did not appear abruptly. It has been evolving spiritually, just like you have. The time has finally aligned. The door has opened. The route has been cleared. The previous season has expired. And God is saying, go forward. Your land is ready. So move openly. Do not second-guess your right to be there. Don't bring your prior rejections with you to this new one. This is the land that will listen to you. Yes, this is the country that has waited. Not for everyone, but for you individually. Your presence will trigger it. Your prayers will water it. It will help you realize your goals. This is a confirmation. The land is prepared. The promise remains alive. And the moment has come. Chapter 4. The people of the nation are waiting for you. The selected one. Understand this. You are not simply being relocated to a different place. You are being placed in divine timing for divine connection. This is not an isolated move. It's more than simply a personal breakthrough. It's about aligning with those who have been waiting for what you have to offer. You are not entering an empty world. You're entering a place brimming with purpose. And as soon as your feet contact it, destinies will start to awaken. There are long-awaited relationships, collaborations, and responsibilities in that land, waiting for your tail, obedience, sound, and oil. People have been allocated to your voice. People who have been hoping for solutions, unaware that you are part of the solution. Souls who have been wandering in the dark. However, your presence will cause them to wake up. Voices that had been mute. However, your courage will set them free. Dreamers who have lost hope. But your movement will restore their trust. You don't have to be loud to be noticed. You do not need to make an effort to be accepted in this new world. Your honesty will be recognized, not disregarded. Your obedience will be more than sufficient. Because God orchestrates the relationships, you'll be divinely recognized. Not because you sought to fit in, but because you dared to appear in the old land. Your grandeur was misconstrued. Your fire was too intense. Your thoughts were too profound. Your presence made some people uneasy. Not because you were mistaken, but because you were misplaced. They couldn't see you since they were not allocated to develop beside you. You were a soil in their desert sunshine, in their blindness, eyesight, and daily routine. But in this new land, your presence will energize others. Your process will make sense. Your vision will be meaningful. Your spiritual development will lead to mutual ascent. You will not have to apologize for the fire. It will start a movement. This country is not about popularity. It's about the divine purpose. You're not entering a stage. You are entering a kingdom ecology that God has deliberately designed to increase your influence, multiply your anointing, and deepen your legacy. In this realm, your work will be collaborated upon. Your prophetic edge will be protected. Your spiritual hunger will be satisfied via fellowship. Your leadership will gain structure. Your anointing will be expressed, and your heart will rest. Not because the individuals are excellent, but because of their position. These folks will not compete against you. They will help you accomplish your homework. They will not doubt your presence. They'll confirm it. They will not exhaust you. They will revitalize you. These are covenantal relationships. God created alignments, purposeful alliances designed to carry weight and destiny. You've borne heavy things silently, but now God is leading you to a location where your burden will be lighter. Not because it is smaller, but because it is shared. So don't be shocked if the proper individuals come when fresh doors open, not just to opportunity, but also to divine connections. Conversations reinforce what you've been carrying quietly. This is the result of spiritual migration. The right individuals were at the right place at the right moment. God is not simply placing you in a new setting. He is connecting you to a heavenly network in which your obedience will reverberate through others. Your presence will become a catalyst for change, and your effect will grow exponentially. This land was not built only for you. It is waiting for you, and so are the people who inhabit it. Chapter 5. The struggle before the move is spiritual. The chosen one. Let this be apparent. Every heavenly migration is preceded by spiritual opposition. Before God moves you into a new land, authority, and relationships, hell will make one more attempt to try to keep you where you no longer belong. This is more than simply emotional exhaustion. It's not just random misunderstanding. It's no accident that everything feels harder, heavier, and more chaotic. This is a targeted strike intended to prevent you from crossing over before each promised land has a Jordan to cross. There is a shaking before each rise and breakthrough. There is a battle. You may see weird warfare, nightmares that feel like people are surrounding you, and changing lags that do not make sense. Unexpected emotional weight, and fights with uncertainty, fear, and even one's own identity. Why? Because the enemy knows what is on the other side of your obedience. He understands you're on the verge of reaching your next level. He can smell the oil in your life. He hears activity in the spiritual realm. He notices the heavenly dispatch of angels preparing the road. And the enemy's duty is to distract you until you realize how close you are. This is why battle intensifies before divine harmony. This is why perplexity is felt more acutely before clarity. This is why old worries and anxieties resurface, since the opponent cannot halt the movement. But he intends to postpone your answer. But here's something you must remember. This war is not a punishment. This is proof. Proof that the land is real. Proof that the shift is occurring. Evidence that what you asked for is now becoming apparent. You are not being attacked because you are weak. You are under assault because you are a threat to darkness. What you are experiencing right now is not craziness. It is not as if you have lost your path. You are not broken. You are not being left behind. You are in divine transformation. And transitions are always messy before they occur. Glory as if a baby were born. The pressure increases as before. The arrival, like a seed pushing through the ground. The darkness precedes the awakening. Pharaoh always sends chariots when your feet touch the Red Sea, just as Israel did when they left Egypt. This is the last stretch. And sure, it is intense. Yes, it feels uncertain. Yes, it feels like everything is changing beneath your feet. But that's because you're breaking new ground, and the old structures can't keep up. The spiritual fight you're now facing isn't a sign to give up. It is your confirmation to keep going. It implies the instructions you got were correct. It signifies the image you've been holding is correct. It indicates that the land is not a fiction. This is your inheritance. God is not testing you to destroy you. He is straining you to prepare you. You can't handle the weight of fresh terrain with an outdated perspective. So he's letting this pressure to break. What can't you bring with you? You're not being broken down. You are being strengthened. You are not being delayed. You are being outfitted. You aren't being rejected. You're being redirected to your intended destination. So wait on. The chosen one. Do not characterize the warfare as a failure. Chapter 6. This land will reflect your fire, favor, and future chosen one. You carried a fire that most people never comprehended. You've blazed with vision in areas that were spiritually chilly. You held a fever that was disguised under layers of stillness, obedience, and battle. Despite all of this, you stayed devoted. You kept turning up. You continued praying. When no one saw, you kept building. Even when nothing moved, you maintained stewarding the dream. Even while you were immersed in uncertainty, dryness, and delays. But now God is acting strategically. He's not just relocating you to a different location. He is placing you in a land capable of containing what He has placed inside of you. This property will not only provide area for your fire, it will give it fuel. It will not just acknowledge your favor. It will react to it. It will not simply witness your future. It will serve as the foundation for the future. You are entering a place that was created with your calling in mind. This terrain will not hinder your anointing. It will lengthen and strengthen it. This terrain will not degrade your mantle. It will respect and make way for it. This terrain will not quiet your voice. It will enhance it for the ears who were destined to hear it in this new nation. You won't feel like you're too much. You will no longer feel as if you need to darken your brightness to be welcomed. You will no longer have to shrink to survive here. Your spiritual weight will be acknowledged, not despised. Your leadership will be embraced, not questioned. Your aspirations will finally have the room to grow. This land will meet your needs. It will withstand the fire you carry without breaking. It will maintain the brilliance that you are supposed to discharge. It will be the atmosphere in which both vision and vessel may thrive. You will be able to relax without remorse in this new environment. Not the type of rest that comes from concealing, but rather the kind that comes from just belonging. The type of rest that says, "This is what I was designed for." You will also uncover resources that come from alignment rather than striving. God is giving you aid that appreciates the importance of your endeavor. Open doors that do not necessitate compromising your standards. Support that does not have strings connected will allow you to discover space without resistance. There is plenty space for growth. There is space to talk. There is space to build. Allow yourself to grow into whatever God intended you to be. Let this be apparent. God isn't moving. You want to impress people. He is not moving you to make a point. He isn't moving you for likes, prestige, or accolades. He is moving you because the next chapter must be completed, because a prophecy must come true. This is not a random relocation. This is a prophesied fulfillment. This is when the inner you and the outer surroundings finally meet. No more faking, shrinking, or attempting to grow kingdom seeds in cursed soil. This new land is sacred. It's fertile, ready, and ideally suited to the version of you that God has honed through fire in this place. You'll finally exhale. Your offerings will live. Your spirit will grow, and your mission will be planted in ground ready for your footsteps. The place is ready. And most importantly, so are you. Chapter 7. Walk in since it is already yours. The selected one. The country you are entering does not need you to fight for it in terror. It's something you're always meant to walk in via faith. This is not about attempting to qualify. You've already been qualified through the procedure. You have already been purified by fire. You have already been tested in quiet. And now heaven says it's time. Walk in since it is already yours. This property is not a prize for success. It is an expression of inheritance. It belongs to you since God has declared so. This is your portion, because your name is inscribed in the Spirit. This is an ambition. It's an assignment. You do not have to strive. You don't need to compete. You do not need to convince anyone that it is yours. You simply need to believe what God has already verified. You've been faithful for little. You stayed even though it was uncomfortable. You prayed when it seemed meaningless. You fasted while others feasted. You obeyed while no one was looking. You developed in the shadows. And now, God is not just moving you. He is unveiling you. He's unveiling the version of you that has been concealed, but is completely crushed, and is known as the version of you that has been silent, but filled with insight and fire. This is hardly your first outing. This is the heavenly revealing. So here's this. Do not hesitate. Do not second-guess the door that is opening. Do not overthink the instructions. Don't let fear of the unknown keep you stuck in the comfort of the past. God isn't just transferring your body. He's realigning your destiny. He isn't just altering your environment. He's validating your spiritual identity. This is not only about real estate. It is about revelation, reward, and rule. This move has the weight of prophecy. It represents the restoration of what was lost. It unlocks the position that had been reserved for you, one that no man can prevent, postpone, or deny. You are not walking into a blessing. You are entering what has always been recorded in the books of heaven about your life. This is your land. Spiritual sovereignty extends beyond physical borders. Authority in the market. Influence in rooms where choices are made. Access to resources you did not earn but were given due to your dedication. This place has been calling to you in the Spirit. It has been waiting for your arrival. It has been holding room for your presence. And now your feet must match what your spirit already understands. There will be no more delays, doubts or downplaying what God is accomplishing. This is the moment when obedience and destiny meet after years of crushing. Finally, create the oil of influence, where the waiting transforms into walking, where the spiritual becomes apparent.